And and happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday, and it is 7 p.m. And you know what happened at 7 p.m. It's time for opinions. And we know that opinions are like, everybody's got one. I want to welcome you to Rhythm Flow Radio live stream right here on Meta, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spreaker. And this show is all about opinions. Opinions are not facts, they are just opinions. And we have a great show lined up for you today. And you know what? I don't want to wait around because this is Black History Month. And we made an awesome piece of Black history just doing the Super Bowl. We made an awesome piece of Black history. Two Black quarterbacks. I mean, just almost a whole Black entertainment show, with the exception of Chris Stapleton. So we want to talk about that because I mean, it was like a first time, a first time in history that we got to celebrate an occasion like that. I mean, the whole production probably was put on by African Americans. So, without further ado, let me bring in Brother Raymond so that he can do the prayer and we can get this show started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Opinions with Katie Lowe and Brother Raymond. Heavenly Father, we come to thanking you boldly upon your throne, thanking you for opening up our eyes, allowing us to live to see another day. Lord, we thank you for the historical event we had yesterday. We will remember this from time and time again until the end of time. We thank you for all the love and the mercy and the grace that you give us. We pray all these things in your mighty magnificent Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Katie Lowe. Thank you. I'm trying to get this thing up here. Okay. Well, it's doing something. What's up, Katie Lowe? How was your weekend?
My weekend was just great. I'm getting ready for a big week next week. I'll be picking up can donations for Brothers Standing Together. So um, I'm looking forward to that. I spent the weekend at home uh, making some meals.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
That's it.
and I'm doing some other work for some other people. And
That's
that's some of the things that I enjoy doing. So, I use my time wisely. I really, really do.
that's a beautiful thing. It's always good to use your time wisely.
Yeah.
Well, the Super Bowl weekend, me and the missus went out to Katy, Illinois. I was trying to get you to. I couldn't the reception would get because we was in Katy, Texas, at this resort.
Where is that?
Beautiful resort,
Uh-huh.
and she had everything laid out. When I tell you, Katy Lowe, she had it laid out. She had the
All
flowers,
right.
rose petals, the balloons, the hearts, everything. It was just laid out. I was shocked. I was like, wow. And we had a great time. We went out and we ate. We had a great time.
Mhm.
We just laid back and chilled, and whatever she wanted, whatever I wanted, we were just feeding each other. It was love. It was just unconditional love all weekend. Nothing,
All
no phone.
right. Do I hear wedding bells in the air? I
Yes,
mean,
they're
that
coming.
sounds like, man, that sounds like wedding bells to
They
me.
coming.
Look like I'm
And when I
going
tell
to a
you,
wedding.
oh yeah, you definitely be get ready. I'm gonna tell you, book your ticket 20 June
Uh-huh.
2024. Book your ticket because it's going down in Houston, baby. She will
All
be
right.
Miss Richard in June of 2024. But we had a spectacular weekend. We had great fun. We laid back, relaxed. And then, of course, next Sunday we came watch Super Bowl, and she's been selling her Valentine's things that she's made, and she has made some awesome pieces. I'm talking about it's awesome, and they've really been selling, Katie. So you'd be proud of that too. And after all that, now we're here to talk about the recap of the Super Bowl, the historical Super Bowl, and Black history. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. You got me perked up.
I'm not a real. I don't know a lot about football. I'm really not into football. Um, I just know that there was a lot of hype because this was a first time that they had two black quarterbacks.
Yes, yes. Historically, yes.
Just yes,
And the
right,
Black History Month on top of that. So that's
absolutely.
God. You know, that was amazing how it felt like that. And so, and these two young black quarterbacks that's up and coming that we'll be seeing more and more through the years to come because Patrick Mahomes is labeled as one of the premier uh, quarterbacks of the future, and so Jalen Hurts just said, "Hey, I'm one of them too," and he just came on with his come on. So both of them are dynamic players. You know, unfortunately, Philadelphia got the short end of the stick, but you know, it's a win-win situation for us. Put it like that. Yes, yes. All the
So
fans out
that's
there.
one thing for sure. Only one person can win, huh?
That's it. There's only one winner in this game. It's only one winner. You know, and so um, Mahone has more experience, and so you know, it's like the teacher and the student, so to speak. You know, you good, but not yet. But
Okay.
maybe
Can
next year
I ask
you
you this? Since you know you have knowledge of football, what
go
took
ahead.
it so what took it so long
What
to have to
black
have
quarterbacks?
yes.
Because it was frowned upon because we were only good for being running backs, wide
Mhm.
receivers, and playing defense. They didn't look at us as as quarterbacks. We had some quarterbacks back in the day, but it was very few, and it was rarely mentioned. Like uh, Vince Evans for the Chicago Bears. Now this brother used to throw so hard that you had to have some real hands to catch, and he hit you in your chest, and you catch it sting. And receivers said they can still feel it, and so it was frowned upon, and then it just gradually, every now and again, a black quarterback could come along and be dynamical in college, and they said, well, we have to, and then Warren Moon broke it open, Randall Cunningham, Doug Williams. They broke it open, and ever since then, there's been a floodgate. Doug Williams was the first black in the Super Bowl for the Washington Redskins, and he was the MVP, and it was over with from there. The floodgates just opened. You know, so many things they tried. You know, for whatever reason, we the chosen people. So I just gotta say that, and there's no shade against nobody, and we're very athletic. Anything we touch turn to gold, even against ourselves. You know, so like the from the golfing. Let me take it back a little further, Katie Lowe, because a lot of people don't understand that we were the original cowboys.
We were what?
We was the original cowboys, original
Okay.
Buffalo Soldiers. That's what they called us. And so that, and people didn't know that, you know, and so it's so much stuff that we had created and was invented, and so when the football came, you know, it was looked upon as, you know, it was the white quarterback coming out of college, and he was going to he's going to take him to Joe Namath and things of that nature, and Bright Star, and you know all that. And then along came the way our defensive players was there, and the wide receivers were there, but it was very little, like you say, in between with the black quarterbacks. And then after Doug Williams, it exploded. It was a little bit. It was one before Doug Williams. I'm not familiar with. I forgot his name. He played with the Rams, but it was like in between. It's like hit and miss. So play a few series, but it wasn't like now premier quarterbacks, a black premier quarterback. You never heard anything of it. In fact, it wasn't even like that in college. So, it wasn't even like that in college. So now it's just opened up and just expanded because the athleticism is so tremendous. I'm talking about God has gifted us so tremendously with this athleticism, and so it can't be looked over. Even in from, like I say, from golf to basketball, football, baseball, it just can't be overlooked because our athleticism is so impeccable that it will make you say. Because you got to remember, it was the in baseball it was the Negro League and it was the Major League, and then in football it was the AFL and the NFL until they merged together, stuff like that. So you had your size of we'll play with them and they want to play, and then when they seen it was being popularized and everybody started watching, ooh, let's go over there. So okay, let's merge them together. Let's let them play. We ain't gonna let them play quarterback, but we'll let them play wide receiver. We'll play running back. They can play defensive end, stuff like that. And so then it started emerging. For you know it, bam! Now we're here. Now the floodgates open, and quite frankly, I don't even think they're gonna close. Now I'm not saying that it won't be. It will be more black quarterbacks in the NFL, and hopefully it'll be more black coaches in the NFL as well.
Well, do they look at a quarterback position as a leadership role?
Of course.
Oh,
Just like in basketball, the point guard is
mhm.
the general of the floor. So he controls the whole floor. The quarterback controls the floor of the game. So he's the general leader. So quite naturally, we already know what it is. We ain't gotta say it. So that's what happens with that. But primarily comes a time when you just can't have the greatness because it's too great, and God will show the light and shed the light on the people, and the people see it and they be like, wow, from so it's a phenomenal thing, and I see that black quarterbacks, it'll be more black quarterbacks in the NFL over the years, and it's like it's not phasing them out, but it's just like it's our time. I'll just put it like that. It's our time. And yesterday was nothing short of spectacular game, all the way down to the last second. It was spectacular, and you can't take away from it. Just that of course you had two different sides of fans, and like you say, somebody had to lose, and unfortunately, the Eagles lost. So, but you had a winner, and the leader of the so Mahomes is looked at as the new Tom Brady, so to speak. And
Okay.
that's big accolades coming from, Tom Brady, because in this new era,
Mhm.
there are two and two. So the next one he wins, he'll be an elite class of these quarterbacks. And so, that's a great thing. And coming to this time, like it was the Michael Jordan in our era, and then it was LeBron James in this era. So that's how
Okay.
it's going to be looking now. So the Tom Brady in that era, it's looking to be the Mahomes in this era. We'll see, because he won two, so he got two on this belt already. I don't even know if it's another black quarterback who got two under their belt, but in fact, it isn't. So that's what's going to make him, stand out. But yeah, it's a lot of football to go. It's a lot of Super Bowls to go, and it's going to be a lot of black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl in the future. I can see.
You think that the history making this year Super Bowl 57 it has opened the door for more black quarterbacks? I mean, to play in the like I said, I don't know a lot about football, but I'm saying this event, Super Bowl 57, two quarterbacks playing major roles. You call it leadership positions. Do you think that they have opened the doors for more black quarterbacks in the NFL?
Well, yeah, they definitely opening more doors, and you would definitely see more black quarterbacks in the NFL in the Super Bowl coming to the years because we have so many different dynamic players from Lamar Jackson on up to Mahomes. So you're gonna see it's gonna be around. Now it's a lot of dynamic white quarterbacks too. I like Cool Joe from Cincinnati. I like Allen from Buffalo, but they'll be going against the Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, Jalen Hurts, and things of that nature. So they'll have to get to that stage in order to override them. In order to get to that Super Bowl, they got to go through them. And so it's going to be a difficult task because these brothers are playing some phenomenal football. When I tell you, unbelievable 3 dimension. They talking about throwing, running, and mental. So long as they got them three intact, they'll be back. Like Jalen, the Philadelphia Eagles. I look for them to be back next year. Real talk, I really do. I don't see nobody. If the team stay together, I don't see nobody really beating them like that because they had a phenomenal year. They lost, I think, about 4 games if they lost that. So yeah, so he's a young guy. He'll be back. He's 20. They all in their 20s, so they're young. Lamar Jackson, he's in his 20s. He played for the Baltimore Ravens. He's looking to get Deshaun Watson from Cleveland. So it's a lot of these young, powerful brothers that play the ball. And I'm talking about not just play it, they played exceptionally well, and they'll be around. And so we can get ready to see, if not 2 more blacks, you'll always see a black corporate and you can see a black corporate in the Super Bowl because these teams they're fading real fast towards that because these black quarterbacks are phenomenal. I'm talking about phenomenal. I mean, and the strength. If anybody watched the game yesterday, Jalen Hurts he bench presses 600 pounds. He squats 600 pounds. So his legs he powered, and he powered in the end zone. And so, it was relentless. They never gave up. Nobody gave up. It just came down to the end to where it was inevitable that you couldn't beat it. It was 4 seconds left. So that's good. But when you look at how far it's come, it has really grown for the black quarterback. Yeah. Black quarterback was unheard of. And I'm talking about
Okay, like I said, I don't know a lot about football, but I do hear about, I guess, what it's called, the draft.
Yeah, the NFL draft. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking you this because I really don't know. So in the NFL draft, do they draft quarterbacks, black quarterbacks, or are they overlooked?
No, they're not overlooked. They are highly looked at now. Like I said, we made the breakthrough. So now they look at, because you look at Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. These young men were highly looked at. Lamar Jackson won the Heisman Trophy in college and went straight to the pros, top pick for Baltimore. So, they're exceptionally looking at. They're looking at the young man from his name Hooker from Tennessee, about 6'5", 6'6", exceptional player. It's so many dynamic different players that's coming out of the draft that it's gonna be real interesting. You look at Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears, exceptional talent. So these young brothers is getting down, and they got some good players. That Jalen Winston, he came out of Florida State. So you have a plethora of powerful quarterbacks that's in the NFL, and then you have a lot of them coming out in the draft. So it's going to be an awesome draft. Of course, ours truly, Chicago Bears. We got the #1 pick. We don't need a quarterback because we got the dynamic Justin Fields, and he's going to be phenomenal for years to come. He's got to build a team around him, and when you see the dynamics of these young men today, your heart just goes, wow. They have turned the game took it to a whole nother level. Katie, I'm talking about running. Quarterbacks used to stay in the pocket. That's what they were known for, to stay in the pocket and throw the ball.
Mhm.
Today, they can stay in the pocket, throw the ball, they can run with the ball. You know what I'm saying? They can switch, flea flicker and catch the ball. So it's so many different things that these quarterbacks can do today. It's a joy to see, and it's just I'm grateful to see our young brothers is striving and being recognized as true leaders and emerging as you seen yesterday. Historically, two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl for the first time ever. So this is historic. This is in the record books. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
another black quarterback going on to win it for the second time. So now he has two Super Bowls under his belt, and that just only gives the other ones more encouragement. So when you see that, now they encourage even the young ones coming out of college, like, yeah, I can't wait to get that. I got to. So they practicing, they working out, they're doing all what they need to do in order to get to the plateau where they'll be able to get their teams to where they need to get to, because it takes a lot of work. And let me say this: when you get to the Super Bowl, Kalo,
Mhm.
that is no easy task, because
Okay.
there are no guarantees that you will ever get back there. So, like, once Kansas City went twice, this is their third time, and they lost. So they figured like they was over with. So they had to rebuild their team and get the some key players back, and they was able to get back to the Super Bowl. But that's not no guarantee. That's why you see the players crying, and they hurting, because they know this chance may not never. This is a historical chance. It may not never come again. So it is very. That's why it's so phenomenal to have, and these young men fight hard all their life. They dream about it. You think about this, Katie. Your son is in your backyard. He's playing football. You call him in every day. Raymond, come in, come in. You gotta eat. And every day he's playing this. He dream about playing this. Then he goes to he goes to college. He becomes a star. He's able. Then he enters the draft. Now he's in the NFL. This is a dream, but the ultimate dream is to play in the Super Bowl. Like in basketball, the ultimate dream is to play in the NBA championship. So these are the things, and like the finals, and like in baseball, in the World Series. So these are the dreams that they have all while they little, and to be able to accomplish that ain't no easy task. And to get there, man, it's like, man, I mean, you seen them pull their hard. They left everything they had on the field, and people say it didn't, but you got to say that I gave it my best. That's what I want them, to Philadelphia Eagles. They gave it their best, and sometimes your best just ain't good enough. But to give it all what you gave, and then to get there is a test in itself. So again, that's why it's so valuable, because you never know if you will ever see that side again. You never get there again, because, as you said, the teams are advancing. Teams are advancing every day. These young brothers is coming out of college, and they coming out ready. So if they getting ready and they going to a team, they making another team powerful. So you don't know. It just don't know. So yeah, it's a treat, and it's a treasure to get to the Super Bowl. That's a treasure. It really is. And so,
So you don't think that black quarterbacks in the past, have been overlooked?
oh yeah, of course they have,
No.
for sure. I mean, you you look at it as it wasn't our game. It was their game. We came and took it. Just
What do
like
you mean? What do you mean that it wasn't our game? It wasn't
it
a
wasn't.
black man's
They
game.
had blacks had a league of their own. This is what they wanted: a league of their own and a league of
Mhm.
their own. The whites had a league, and they wanted the blacks to have a league. They never wanted to intertwine. That's why it was so much ruckus with Jackie Robinson being drafted. Because he coming over trying to take. No, we don't want him. We don't want him, because really they knew how good he was and how it would change the game, and that's why the game has evolved like it is, because once we embark in it, we usually dominate. Just keeping it real, we dominate the game because we phenomenal. Jackie Robinson was stealing bases before you was even heard of stealing bases. You wouldn't even heard of stealing bases like that. That man would get on first base and steal all the way around the third, and then he stole home base. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Then we had running backs who can run over people and run into a crowd, boom, break out of the crowd and keep running. Never seen that. Then you have wide receivers who can just go out and catch a ball with one hand. They ain't never seen that before. That had never been done until we did it. We changed the game. We brought the flavor to the game. And not taking nothing away from them, but we're more excited, we're more dynamic, and we more creative. And I'm talking about Odell Beckham. Nobody else ever did that. Brother went up one-handed. Boom, he started catching the ball one hand. Now everybody in the league do the one hand. They practice the Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying? Walter Payton, the great Walter Payton. With the half step. When nobody doing the half step, now they doing the half step. So these are the things, the trends that we set. We're trendsetters. We don't follow the trend. We set the trend. And that's what we've been trailblazers since the beginning of time. And that's just the honest God truth. Even with basketball, you look at Bill Russell. At Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when he was Lou Alcindor, they just dominated. Wilt Chamberlain, what's the point guard? Oh my God, Petey, Two Gun Pete. See, these things are just miraculous how we do it. Once we get into these sports, we change the game. We change the dynamics of the sport. And that's what it always have been. I'm talking about from the beginning of time. So it was like a holdback, but the holdback, Katie Lowe, was inevitable. It was going to have to be a breakthrough. Too good. You can't look at a young man that's sitting there on the 10-yard line, can throw the ball 60 yards with ease. And you just say, no, we don't want him. Huh? What you mean you don't want him? That's who you need to go get. They don't like it. Of course they didn't like it. But, they did it. And then you look at, it's like out of 16, 17 teams, it's like 7 to 8 black quarterbacks right now. So,
really? Yes. I told you I really didn't know. I mean, I'm really not a football fan, but I did, I guess because there was such hype behind it.
Yeah.
I watched. I tried to watch as much of it as I could.
So
at the end, I looked up and it was over.
Yeah, it was and that's how we are. Though. We dominate everything. I'm talking about we just exceptional. We gifted athletes from birth. We were gifted. So you look at Jesse Owens.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Ruben. What's her name? Sister Wilson, who was the first actual tennis star. See, all this is nothing new to us. This is in our genes. So now next big thing came with Serena and Venus. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Wilma Rudolph.
She was
the first one. See what I'm saying? So these things is nothing new. What we've been doing. We've been doing this stuff for a long time. Now the black golfer, he got shut out because they weren't gonna have it until Tiger came, but I forgot his name. But he was better than all of them. He was better than all of them, but they wouldn't allow him to play because he wasn't one of the good old boys, so he couldn't play. So that's what stopped him from doing it. So it's just in our genes. We just genetically, athletically, physically, and mentally, we just better. It's just the unity is what separates us. It's not that because anything you look at it, sports. We done include in hockey. We've been playing hockey for a long time. People don't say that because they don't want to look at it like that. We've been playing hockey for a long time. So when you look at it historically, we've been around and we kicked off a lot of stuff that we just didn't get our props for. And with Vince Evans, they were saying, "Oh no, he throws too hard."
Oh, that's right. Vince Evans, he was like a quarterback for the
He was
Bears.
a black quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Yes, right.
And so, things like that. So, we can't. Yeah, we're trying. They tried him. He was throwing the ball hard. They couldn't catch. That's just the bottom line. You got to, because he was throwing it to, Caucasians. And a few black brothers even said he just threw the ball real hard. So you had to, know how to catch, like Lynn Swan and John Stallworth. They can catch a ball in midair, that's why they call them Swan. You just went up and got it, So these things is nothing new to us. We did that. We did that for a long since the beginning of time. I think we created rugby. Hell, but we've been doing stuff. It's nothing under the sun, and then we just got people to come. So now, when you look at the black quarterbacks from Vince Evans, now comes a plethora of young black quarterbacks. Now you got the Mahomes, the Hurts, the Watsons, and um, Lamar Jackson. You got Winston. You got so many. Tyrod. It's so many black quarterbacks now. It's just ridiculous. You'd be like, wow. And so the door was just open. It doesn't never couldn't stop. You can't stop greatness. That's what they say. You can't
what about coaches and owners of teams?
Well, that's a whole different story because, as you already know, it's only, I think it's 1, 2. It was 3 at first. I think it's back down to 1 again. Coach. There is no black owners.
There's no black owners.
No black owners because again, they're taking everything. We can't let them take everything. We got to hold on. So, and we got to keep it real. Racism still exists. We can't be blindsided to that. You already taking over everything else. Now we ain't gonna let you in. They don't even want the black coaches to coach. Who better to be? But you want the black players to play for you. But you don't want the black coach to coach for you. These are the managers and the owners of this. So, it's sad, but it's so true. And not giving us a fair shot at that because again, we'll probably be more dominant as well as you see. Even though they say Michael Jordan is not the best, but shit, he's been a owner of the basketball team for almost 10, 12 years. So I can't tell he's doing something right, So and it's very few in between, but it's coming. Now, I will say this. Hypocrisy is going to be hypocrisy. Ain't no way in the world there shouldn't be 4 or 5 black coaches. Ain't no way in the world. And ain't no way in the world there shouldn't be 4 or 5 black owners. And it's not like we don't have the monies. Now let's be clear on that, y'all. We have the monies. There's some black owners. There's some black ones want to be owners out there, but they don't want to let them in because then they got to change the paradigm. See, the paradigm will shift now because all with the good old boys, they can say and do what they want to do. But now you have this black owner that he don't look at it like that and he don't feel the same way and he's not a yes man. So now that's a threat. See, we a threat. That's the only thing about it. We a threat. It's not that they don't do you a threat. He might do a job better than me. He might get everybody want to play for him. See, they don't probably want to play for me no more. They want to go play for him. So, it's a lot going on, but that's going to overcome too because football is evolving, and if it's ever to evolve into the heights that they and the depth they wish it to do, then it's going to have to be some inclusiveness with the black coaches and the black owners.
You
can own part of the team, but you can't own all of the team because the Williams sisters are part of the Miami Dolphins. People don't know people do that.
Much money. There are blacks out there that are billionaires.
Yes.
Okay. They could pool together and form their own team.
Yes. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. But now you have to get in. See, that's the thing about it. This is where the owners have the leverage. You have to get in. So now they have to, I guess they have to vote you in and all that old crap. And so, that's another whole, that's why I said it's another fight, but yesterday was phenomenal. Both quarterbacks left it all out there on the court, on the field. They did their thing. I am very proud of both of them. And, Mahomes, he just got a second MVP of the Super Bowl. So now he got 2 MVPs and he had Super Bowl champion twice. So, it's on the rise. It's on the rise. And I look at it as a stepping stone, and I think it's motivation for us because the Pittsburgh Steelers coach, Tom, it'll lose me. He's a phenomenal coach. This was his, believe it or not, he's been there 10 years, and this is his first mediocre year. Put it like that. He has a mediocre year this year. Yeah. So, you know, Tom,
I just decided to look this up. I wanted to know who was the first because I didn't know this. Because I told you I really didn't know anything about football. So it says, I asked Google, how long have blacks been in the NFL? It said that in 1920, his name was Fritz Pollard, became the first African American to play in the NFL during its formative years. However, in the years after Fritz's departure, the NFL owners imposed a gentleman's agreement preventing the signings of more black players.
mm-hmm.
The four men below are accredited with reintegrating the NFL in 1946. They are Kenny Washington and
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Strode,
Mm-hmm.
who I guess they went to the Los Angeles Rams. Bill Willis and Marion Motley, the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something?
Yeah. So that again, you know, it was always like I said, they didn't want us in that game. That was their game. They felt like it was their game, but we just came and made it better. And then, like I said, it was inevitable. You was gonna stop it, but it's only so long you can stop it because if they'll come and watch you play for free
Mm-hmm.
and take all the crowds over here because they getting down over here. They playing football. They've shown up doing all kind of stuff. They had never seen the likes of how we play sports. No one has ever seen the likes of how we play sports. And I don't care what nationality you are, you cannot. It all bow down to the black folks because black folks don't do it. Basketball, football, baseball, soccer, golf. You know, it's just we just gifted like that. I just gotta say we just gifted that. I mean, we the best at everything. You know, it's just sad that we don't unite like we did. But and let me take that back because while we talking about Black history, you know, Black Wall Street. You know, we had the Black Wall Street community where we had our own banks, stores, everything. We had everything, and because we were so successful that the white man was jealous and they hated on it and they came and they destroyed it. And so we did it again in Tulsa. They destroyed it again. So anything they did, we did better. So they had to get the hold on the economy because if not, it would have to be equally yoked, and they didn't want that. And that's why Black Wall Street to these days is not existing because they said under no circumstances were they going to allow us to do that because it wasn't violence. We always dressed sharp. From the 20s on up, we sharp dresses, suits and ties, dancing, you know, everything, you know. And it was nothing and absolutely nothing that the white man could do without blacks, meaning taking care of their children, cleaning their houses, whatever it is, we had to be the ones to help integrate with them. We didn't integrate with them, they integrated with us. We didn't bother them, they bothered us. So yeah, on that note, yeah. So and all these great scholars we had, you know, and still have to this day, you know. All our pillars, look at our elders, you being one of them. You know, people don't even know all the stuff that you've done, all the miraculous stuff you've done. They didn't even know, people didn't even know you drove a bus, Katie Love.
Yeah,
They wouldn't know you was a stand-up.
Hey, I did.
And they wouldn't know you was a stand-up comic.
I figure out why did I do that?
They didn't know you was a stand-up comic. Could have made it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did that too. Hey, That hey, it paid the bills for a while.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's a
You
lot
know,
of
you
historical stuff that
you
we
never
did.
listen. You do listen when you find ways to pay bills and it's legal, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you you step out there. I can remember the first time I went up in Cigars and Stripes and they gave me a show and they told me that I was gonna take home that register at that
Uh-huh.
door. And I remember the first night I took home the register at the door, and they gave me everything that they collected on the door. I was just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know what I said? When you go invite me back, they said next week. Okay.
That's right.
I was trying to be up in there every weekend
Exactly.
because huh, where could you go and talk for 45 minutes and walk away with $800 or $900?
Exactly. So that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We're so gifted with this stuff that comic, dancing, routines, poetry. It's just like we're gifted. That's why the song we made, that young, gifted, and black. That's where it's at. And that was
Yeah.
a fact. That wasn't no shade. That was a fact too, because you go from the Dick Gregory's all the way up now. People don't remember. They
Hey,
remember
listen.
him as a
I was trying.
revolutionary. They don't remember him as a comedian, because
I
his
was trying to.
revolutionary took over.
I was trying to figure out a way that I could go out there and get that dough 3 times a week. I
Exactly.
said, boy, if I could, if I mean, you walk out anywhere from $700 to $900. Think if I could do that 3 times a week.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I
Now
mean,
look at
it
all
was
the other
easy
ones that
money.
came. Look at the other ones that came that couldn't do it.
Huh?
See, it was others that came that couldn't do that.
Yeah, but I mean,
So,
it really wasn't easy to do it first though.
but you paid the way. See what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
opened the door for somebody else who was looking, saying, "Katie can do it. Oh, I can do it too. If Katie can do it, I can do it." So that you inspire somebody else to stand up and do it, and talk about themselves and make jokes and make people laugh, and that went on and on and on, and then now comedy is a phenomenon, and
Oh, it's
it,
everywhere.
it is overtaken, man. We dominate the comedy scene. Come on,
Oh yeah.
you know, the music scene, all this stuff is no, there is no coincidence. We just gifted like that, and that's what it is, and so they don't want
Now
to see
you
us
were
equal.
listen. You were talking about uh, Tulsa, Black Wall Street, and all of that. I was trying to find this article. I, Here it is. I think this is it. The Bruce family. I believe that this is it. Out in this happened out in California. Um, the Bruce family. It was called Manhattan Beach. The
Mm-hmm.
Bruce family. They got it back, but their ancestors used to own this beachfront property out
Okay.
in California. And there's a way that the government can step in and take your property.
Of course. They make
I
the
think it's
rules.
called some kind of intimate domain or something.
Intimate domain. Yeah.
Yeah, they come in and they take your property, and what they do is, I mean, they force you off, and then they come in and they build condos or whatever. Well,
Exactly.
back in the day, they took this front property from these black folks. They absolutely took it. And the ancestors of these black people, they went and filed a lawsuit. And it wasn't easy. But do you know that they got that property back?
Yeah. The law is the law. That's
Okay.
one thing they messed up. They made the law, but they break the law. So when you can interpret the law in they language,
Mm-hmm.
it befools them, it baffles them. Now they looking, no, but yeah, this is my ancestors. We own this. You guys forcefully took this. And so we want the right to take it back. And so through the law and a lawyer and a fight, they was able to obtain it back, get it back. But yeah, it comes with but that's the thing about it. It's just the fight, the fight in us. We don't die. We don't
Their
die.
ancestors was Charles and Willow Bruce, and
Mhm.
this happened over 100 years ago.
See,
Can
so
you believe this?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing surprising about what we do. And like, that's why, it's like with Marcus Garvey, and the Fannie Lou Hamers, that's phenomenal. They don't know Fannie Lou was just equal as Martin Luther King. She was just a female, but she was a gangster. She ain't take no stuff, and she let them know, you put your hands on me, I'm gonna put my hands back on you. And so this is just the historical feats of how we overcome and still overcoming to this day. It's just, they got to throw a monkey wrench in the game because this is where the drugs and the guns and the violence was perpetuated so that we couldn't. So when the Black Panthers and all these revolutionary organizations came, they had to get rid of them because otherwise the game would have changed. It had been equalized. So they able to equalize the game, and they knew that. And so
Do you
it
know
would
that there are other families in other cities that are doing this same thing about land that was taken from their
stolen.
ancestors?
That's right. It was stolen from them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they listen, they are, I mean, I just thought about this because you started talking about, you know, Tulsa and Rosewood and these different places where people were forced out of town and their land was taken. This is one of the things that one morning, and I usually watch Good Morning America because they always have some good news. And they have some stories that I'm very interested in. And then Nightline is another one that I watch because they have
Okay.
some things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And this is one of the stories that I followed there. And they told it was called Bruce Beach. And they took it. How can you just take something? But this was happening all over the United States.
And it's been happening.
Yeah,
It's nothing new.
yeah.
If you look at some of the right, if rightfully, they stole it. You know, we can actually live in two separate, different continents if we wanted to, because it's enough. All our ancestors left so much land for us to live a carefree life. But here again, the the, the Europeans wouldn't have it because there's too much like right. But everything's coming to pass, And so with back to the sports, the historical past of whoever would have thought see two black quarterbacks. Nobody thought of that.
I tell you, the hype behind that was tremendous.
Yes, yes.
I don't think anyone would have thought would ever see that come to
Right.
pass.
Randall Cunningham, the other boy, it was so many black phenomenal quarterbacks. It was just ridiculous. I'm talking about, and then to see two of them go head to head for the crown. Oh man, that's historical. And to think now it's scary because they can say, "Ooh, this can happen again." Oh yes, you're right. It sure can, and it will. I'm predicting it. It will. Yeah, it will
I'm
happen.
gonna find out how many people watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It was record breaking, and then you had Rihanna, performing at halftime, you know, and it
It
was
said
awesome.
the Super Bowl draws near record 113 million viewers,
Mhm.
just shy of Foxy's lofty expectations.
Yeah,
Isn't that something?
yeah. Mhm.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, and it's a lot. And then you got to think about it, Kalo. It's a lot of people that ain't counted.
Probably so.
You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at
Mhm.
even easily over 200-300 million people have watched this Super Bowl. You
Mhm.
know, they just talking about in America. They watching it all over. They was watching it in Ghana. They was watching it in one country was rooting for the Eagles, the other country was rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. So you got that. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal sport, and then the historical sport because you're looking at all these. They black. These are
Yeah.
our people. We have overcome. We at the dance and gonna be at the dance again. They can get ready for that. Yeah, they can
So
get
you
ready
said
for
they're
that.
gonna be at the dance again.
Oh yeah, you can. It's inevitable. I'm talking about you got young brothers like Lamar Jackson. He thirsty to get there. So given the structure of the game,
Hmm.
they will go like I can look at the Raiders. The Raiders, you know, I always envisioned it, and I knew it probably wouldn't come true. But I'll pray. I said, Lord, send Lamar Jackson on to the Raiders. You'll have him, Adams, the running back. Oh man, they Super Bowl contenders. Soon as he step on the floor, soon as they tell me they Super Bowl contenders, easily. That's just from your name. Now that's phenomenal. When you get like Kevin Durant from that basketball. The Phoenix Suns was just the Phoenix Suns. They was good, but they weren't able to get over the hump. Brooklyn Nets traded Kevin Durant over there. They favored
Hmm.
2-1 instantly overnight. You can't favor to win 2-1 because that's just how phenomenal we are when playing the sport that we play. So that's the dynamics of it, and the ugly part of it, is the politics of it as well. Now we ain't gonna let them. They overpower. They taking over. They taking over. So we gonna hold the ownership. And they made the vow. We ain't letting them in. We ain't gonna let them in here. They can play.
Uh,
They can play, but we can't let them get in here. We might have to get them a coach or two, maybe three, but
so are
they
you saying Super Bowl 58 is gonna have two black quarterbacks?
could possibly can. They can get ready for it. I know
Uh,
one thing for sure. I know one thing for sure. There'll be
what's
another
that?
black quarterback in that Super Bowl next year too. Yeah.
They're gonna have at least one, huh?
It's gonna be at least one in there.
Okay.
And you might be looking at one every year, so they might as well get
Okay.
ready for it because at the end of these young brothers is phenomenal, and the teams that they playing for are believing and they galvanizing around them, so they getting them the help and the tools they need, man. And we're not making it a black thing, but that's a black quarterback. He's a general. He's a general on the football field, like the
Mhm.
point guard is the general on the basketball field. Yeah.
Okay, so we got 5 more minutes. What are you gonna be talking about Friday on a conversation with Brother Raymond?
So Friday, we want to talk about the descent decrees and the black
Oh,
urban
okay.
communities and how the lapse of it and not the renewal of it is letting these owners push low income people out of their communities. And they, like you were just saying earlier, now they building the condominiums and the skyscrapers where they didn't want them at first. Remember, they said we tearing down these projects because they're too high. They didn't. Now they're building up what they want to build up. You can put up you couldn't do a 19 story, but now we can do a 40 story because this is the new city, and that's what I
Okay.
call it. So that's what we were talking about. And what happened to our community leaders? Where did they go, Caleb? Did they stop fighting overnight, or did they just fade away? Were they bought off? What happened? Because we don't see them out there fighting like we used to see them fight. So we'll be talking about that and what's the future of urban communities? The
Oh,
future of urban
what's the future of urban community?
communities, yeah.
How about that? All
Because
right, are you having a guest?
well, I'm gonna have a couple of guests. There's gonna be a few that's gonna come on, and then we
Okay.
have the name Pulley. Posley, I'm sorry, Posley. She's one of them. She's been adamant about it. I have a young lady named Juana Stamps, um, you know, that's adamant about it. And it's so many people that's just adamant about this movement, and yet it just went like it just disappeared overnight. You know, like
All
the movement,
right.
just the movement. We talking about the LACs. We talking about the aldermen. We talking about the churches. We talking about all the people that's in the police. We talking about all the people that makes up of the community. Where are they at? You know, how can we not stop? Now, let me rephrase that. How can we not reduce violence in our community? We can reduce violence in our community. We can reduce homelessness in our community. We can reduce addiction in our community. We can reduce unemployment in our communities. But why we're not? I mean, it's like the fight was there, and then it's like the fight been just taken out of us, or have we been paid off? We need to know. So it's gonna be some stuff to be talking about Friday. We need to know.
So say that topic again so everybody can hear it.
I'm talking so fast, I don't forget myself.
You
We're gonna
said
be
you're going to talk about what's happening to what
what
the
happened to
urban
the Black urban communities.
what's what's happening to the Black urban communities. It's going
Yes,
to be Friday at 5 on a
Friday at
conversation
5. Yeah,
with
conversation
Brother
with Brother
Raymond.
Ray. Yeah.
All right. Okay, y'all see, I didn't know a lot about football, but I did
Oh,
get a
you
good
did. You did
lesson
your due
tonight.
diligence. You hung in there. You hung in there. You did pretty great. Great. Great
All
commentator.
right,
We did a
everybody.
whole show with it.
Well, I don't know anything about it, but I did. Some of my friends just told me to watch the game because there were two black quarterbacks, and
And
to
two
get excited
historical
about.
and them were historical running backs and wide receivers. It was a lot of
Yes, but I don't.
defensive players.
I don't know a running back from a tight end or a wide receiver.
Right.
Okay.
So but it was great. It was phenomenal. I take my hat off to both of them, both teams. Um, it's nothing that you can take away from it. It's just that Kansas City won and Philadelphia didn't. So with that being said, of course they're the winners, but they both played both phenomenal games, great teams. I can look for them getting back there again next year, but I know it's going to be a tough task. That's why when you get there, you got to lay it all on the line because you never know if you'll get back there. Never
And
know.
they had high scores too, didn't
Oh yeah,
they?
woo! Lord have mercy. 35 and 37 points,
Yeah.
35 to 32. That was
All
too.
right, we thank you all for tuning in to Opinions right here on Meta Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spreaker, and we will see you Friday
Bye.
at 5. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.